Hey guys, today I am back with another brand new video. So today we will discuss about electrochemistry. There are 21 questions that we will discuss today. The first question is, what is electrochemistry? The second question is, who is the father of electrochemistry? The third question is, what are the types of electrochemistry? The fourth question is, what is the equation of electrochemistry? The fifth question is, give example of electrochemistry. The sixth question is, what are the application of electrochemistry? The seventh question is, how is electrochemical produced? The eighth question is, why is electrochemistry so hard? The ninth question is, does reduction always occur at the cathode? The 10th question is, why does electrochemistry happen? The 11th question is, why does reduction occur at the cathode? The 12th question is, what is a cell diagram? The 13th question is the cathode positive? The 14th question is, how is electrochemistry used in real life? The 15th question is, how is electrochemistry used in medicine? The 16th question is, what are the two aspects of electrochemistry? The 17th question is, how does electrochemistry produce voltage? The 18th question is, what happens in cathode? The 19th question is, does current flow from anode to cathode? The 20th question is, what is the difference between voltaic and electrolytic cells? The 21st and the last question is, what is difference between anode and cathode? The first question is, what is electrochemistry? This is the answer. Electrochemistry is a branch of physical chemistry that studies the relationship between electrical parameters and the identifiable chemical changes. Electrochemistry is the branch of physical chemistry that studies the relationship between electricity as a measurable and quantitative phenomenon, and identifiable chemical change, with either electricity considered an outcome of a particular chemical change or vice versa. It is also described as the branch of chemistry that deals with the chemical changes produced by electricity and the production of electricity by chemical changes. The second question is, who is the father of electrochemistry? Alan Bard. Longtime chemist Alan Bard doesn't aspire to become a household name. He cares more about mentoring young scientists. But fame has found him anyway. Some scientists might know him as the father of modern electrochemistry. The third question is, what are the types of electrochemistry? There are two types of electrochemical cells: galvanic, also called voltaic, and electrolytic. Galvanic cells derives its energy from spontaneous redox reactions, while electrolytic cells involve non-spontaneous reactions and thus require an external electron source like a DC battery or an AC power source. The fourth question is, what is the equation of electrochemistry? In electrochemistry, the Nernst equation is an equation that relates the reduction potential of an electrochemical reaction, half-cell or full-cell reaction, to the standard electrode potential, temperature, and activities, often approximated by concentrations, of the chemical species undergoing reduction and oxidation. The fifth question is, give example of electrochemistry. The production of chlorine and aluminum and the electroplating and electrowinning of metals are examples of industrial electrochemical processes. Electrochemical cells that produce electric energy from chemical energy are the basis of primary and secondary storage, batteries and fuel cells. The sixth question is, what are the application of electrochemistry? Electrochemistry has a number of different uses, particularly in industry. The principles of cells are used to make electrical batteries. A fuel cell converts the chemical potential energy produced by the oxidation of fuels, e.g., hydrogen gas, hydrocarbons, alcohols, into electrical energy. The seventh question is, how is electrochemical produced? An electrochemical cell is a device that produces an electric current from energy released by a spontaneous redox reaction. This can be caused from electricity, the galvanic cell uses two different metal electrodes, each in an electrolyte where the positively charged ions are the oxidized form of the electrode metal. The eighth question is, why is electrochemistry so hard? Many students find electrochemistry difficult because they have not fully mastered common electricity concepts. Specifically the differences and relationships among current, voltage, and resistance, I, V, and R. The ninth question is, does reduction always occur at the cathode? Reduction always occurs at the cathode, and oxidation always occurs at the anode. Since reduction is the addition of electrons, electrons must travel toward the site of reduction. In an electrolytic cell the negative charge is on the cathode, while the positive charge is on the anode. The 10th question is, why does electrochemistry happen? It refers to electrochemical processes involving electron transfer to or from a molecule or ion changing its oxidation state. This reaction can occur through the application of an external voltage or through the release of chemical energy. The 11th question is, why does reduction occur at the cathode? Positive ions from the electrolyte pick up electrons at the cathode and use them to perform reduction of the ion. Reduction equals addition of electrons. At the same time negative ions migrate to the positive electrode, anode, to drop off electrons and get oxidized. Oxidation equals loss of electrons. The 12th question is, what is a cell diagram? A cell diagram is chemistry's shorthand for representing a galvanic cell, voltaic cell. The usual convention for writing a cell diagram is, single vertical lines, indicate a phase boundary or junction. For example, a solid electrode in contact with a solution. The 13th question is the cathode positive? In a galvanic, voltaic, cell, the anode is considered negative and the cathode is considered positive. This seems reasonable as the anode is the source of electrons and cathode is where the electrons flow. However, in an electrolytic cell, the anode is taken to be positive while the cathode is now negative. The 14th question is, how is electrochemistry used in real life? Electrochemistry has a number of different uses, particularly in industry. The principles of cells are used to make electrical batteries. Batteries are made of electrochemical devices such as one or more galvanic cells or fuel cells. The 15th question is, how is electrochemistry used in medicine? Today transistors and microchips reduce the size of implantable electronic devices. Long-lasting batteries power them. And inert materials like titanium and non-crystalline metals resist electrochemical reactions inside the body. Semiconductor technology has become commonplace in medicine. The 16th question is, what are the two aspects of electrochemistry? There are two types of electrochemical cells, galvanic, also called voltaic, and electrolytic. Galvanic cells derives its energy from spontaneous redox reactions, while electrolytic cells involve non-spontaneous reactions and, thus require an external electron source like a DC battery or an AC power source. The 17th question is, how does electrochemistry produce voltage? Electrochemical cells produce a voltage by making the electrons from a spontaneous reduction oxidation reaction flow through an external circuit. The tendency of the system to go to a lower energy state shows up as a voltage, potential energy, difference between the electrodes. The 18th question is, what happens in cathode? At the cathode in an electrolytic cell, ions in the surrounding solution are reduced into atoms, which precipitate or plate out onto the solid cathode. The anode is where oxidation takes place, and the cathode is where reduction takes place. The 19th question is, does current flow from anode to cathode? Electrons flow from anode to cathode and anions flow from cathode to anode. So current actually flows from anode to cathode. But convention has it set to the opposite. The 20th question is, what is the difference between voltaic and electrolytic cells? Voltaic cells convert chemical energy to electrical energy by means of an oxidation-reduction reaction. Electrolytic cells convert electrical energy to chemical energy. So they are the opposite of voltaic cells. In an electrolytic cell, the cathode is negatively charged and the anode is positively charged. The 21 question is, what is difference between anode and cathode? The anode is the electrode where electricity moves into. The cathode is the electrode where electricity is given out or flows out of. The anode is usually the positive side. A cathode is a negative side.
Thank you for watching it and don't forget to
like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel.